Durant still says he could see himself playing for the Knicks in the future under their current regime. That's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I do not want LeBron James. I do not want Kevin Durant. I don't want any of these old guys coming to my team and hurting the good juju right now that we have with Jalen Brunson and even Julius Randle and DiVincenzo and OG Anunoby. I do not want to see the name Durant on a jersey or LeBron James. Everybody knew that his family, his agent, wanted him to play for the Knicks. He went to Brooklyn because Brooklyn was the only idiot organization that would sign and bring Kyrie Irving over there after he came out and said the earth is flat, okay? His brain is flat. As we all heard Stephen Curry coming out a couple of years ago and said that, I don't know, there is no moon and nobody's ever jumped. Well, he said there was a moon. Nobody ever stepped foot on the moon. That's not true. What did he say? He said that it was...
We never traveled to space.
We never traveled to space. And he also said that when they showed video that they were on the moon, it was like
a hoax.
Not a hoax. He said they were in, LA working on a movie set or something like that.
People always say that about that one video of the flag waving because they go, oh, there's no air in space. It can't wave. That proves it was in a studio. There's no wind in a studio either. What are you talking about? Like these people. I'm sorry. I just had to say something.
No, you're absolutely right. And the whole Kevin Durant thing is just, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Now, I would have loved to see Kevin Durant decide and pick the New York Knicks over the Brooklyn Nets. But honestly, thank God he didn't, because if he did, they would be in a state of flux, which the Knicks have been for many, many years. And it wasn't because the superstars wanted to come play here. It was because the superstars didn't want to play here and they couldn't stand James Dolan and ownership. Now they bring in Leon Rose, and everybody was interested to see what Leon Rose was going to do as an agent. And it didn't work out for the New York Mets, but hey, it worked out for the New York Knicks because the Mets brought in an agent. It didn't work out there. And the Knicks did the same thing. And Leon Rose brings in Worldwide West. He brings in a bunch of executives to work with him. And this team has completely changed over the last 4 years. It's been absolutely amazing. And everything that he has done, I'm going to say this, besides the Fournier move and extending Randall, which the extension with Randall looks like it's going to work. And maybe Julius Randle gets healthy and actually puts up a pretty good playoff run, something he hasn't done since he's come to the Knicks, as he's become the bricklayer of the New York Knicks. But nevertheless, he brought in OG Anunoby. He traded RJ Barrett. They bring in Bogdanovich and Alec Burks again, and a guy in a Quentin Grimes that obviously has not worked out over the last few years, ever since he was drafted in the first round. So, there's a lot of questions so far on what the Knicks could do as far as when they make the playoffs, what seed they're going to go in, and if they can compete against the Celtics, and if they can compete against the Milwaukee Bucks with Damian Lillard and the Greek Freak. So, but I will say this about Kevin Durant. I don't want him anywhere close to this team. And the fact that he wants to come here is a joke. The fact that LeBron James came out and said that he would see himself playing in Madison Square Garden is a joke. If you really saw yourself wanting to play here and you wanted to wear the Knicks colors and you wanted to play in Madison Square Garden, you should have done that when you were in your prime. Now you're at the tail end of your career. LeBron's 39. Kevin Durant is 36, going to be 37. I do not want to see them in a New York Knicks jersey. They have been nothing but hindrances for their organizations. LeBron James with his thoughts to what's going on in the world and his political views. And I'm not saying LeBron isn't a great player. I'm not saying Kevin Durant isn't a great player. But if you're a New York Knicks fan right now, do you really want to see Kevin Durant, who has 7 different Twitter accounts or X accounts, and LeBron James, who is, I believe, not selfish on a basketball court, but selfish off a basketball court, and says the things that he says and throws people these stories and his political views where I don't care. I'm watching basketball. I don't care what your political views are. And the fact that he does it and the fact that he says things, if he comes to New York, it's only going to cause scrutiny and craziness here. And that's not what I want to see with LeBron James. And that's not what I want to see if Kevin Durant comes back here to New York.